Okay, that's us at 2:30. We have a few attendees in, so we'll begin the presentation. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Today's webinar is being recorded and will be available on the website of both New Era Helium and Sharon AI. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this webinar this afternoon. I'm joined by Will Gray, who is the CEO of New Era Helium, based out of Midland, Texas. And then joining Will is Wolf Schubert, who is CEO of Sharon AI. Today's webinar is to discuss the press release that went out earlier this week about the joint venture between New Era Helium and Sharon AI. And with that, I will hand over to Will Gray, CEO of New Era Helium. Please go ahead, Will.
Yeah, Jonathan, thank you very much. So again, my name is Will Gray. I'm the CEO of New Era Helium, and just want to thank everyone for joining today, and thank you, Wolf, for joining as well. Yeah, so lots of news this week for New Era Helium, especially as it relates to kind of our go-forward path as it relates to our natural gas. Of course, as you look at the press release and kind of look at the company's website, you know, we do produce helium that's associated with natural gas. About 95% of the world's helium is associated with natural gas. So what we look to do is try to find the best price for that natural gas. So of course, we produce helium, natural gas, and natural gas liquids. And one thing that we've been working on now for actually several years is, what do we do with our natural gas? What's the best? Does it make more sense in selling it as electrons versus molecules? And in doing quite a bit of study in that, we do realize that it's a significant uplift on pricing if we're able to deliver it as power, to be real honest. And so what we have done is we've worked to identify different groups over the past year who would make the most sense to work with, you know, from a data center perspective. Again, looking at the growth of AI, I think most people aren't familiar with this, but with helium, the number one end-use application is for semiconductors. So from the overall AI spectrum, without helium, there is no AI chips. And so I think that's one aspect of how we entertain this. Again, from the downstream perspective of AI is going to be on the power generation side. And again, that was how we were looking to utilize our natural gas to play within this growth story, of which we feel is just at the tipping point of where this is. And obviously, you cannot look at the internet or any sort of newspaper with the top 5 comments being, you know, taxing the power grid because of AI data centers. And so obviously, being able to utilize our natural gas as an energy transition source from a net zero perspective, meaning we're able to capture the CO2 that is generated from the natural gas fired power plants, it makes perfect sense. So ideally, we would locate this in the Permian Basin because there is access to multiple, what we call the 3 components of what we're most interested in. Obviously, one is the fiber optic cable, dedicated fiber for the AI data centers. 2 is going to be access to our natural gas. And then 3, of course, is the disposal for what they call carbon capture, utilization, storage of the CO2. But again, that is just one aspect of what we look to do and somewhat be part of a, you know, vertically integrated joint venture. And we were introduced to Sharon AI, gosh, not too terribly long ago with Wolf, and understanding what they have accomplished throughout their career through the company, and they're very well known. This is not their first site to build, so it was nice to partner to announce this partnership to see where we could take this. And you know, Wolf, if you don't mind, kind of sharing your thoughts of why the Permian Basin, why New Era Helium, that'd be great.
Thank you, Will, and good afternoon, everybody. Again, my name is Wolf Schubert. I'm the CEO of Sharon AI. We're an AI and high-performance compute infrastructure company operating in the US and Australia, and we're headquartered and incorporated in the US. Our business was first established about 4 years ago in 2021 and started with cloud storage. We've since pivoted to cloud compute and are now offering both AI high-performance compute in addition to our S3 compatible data storage. We're operational across 3 co-location facilities in Australia, and our expansion to the US this year includes developing high-density liquid-cooled data centers, such as the one we're talking about here. I would highlight that our board and management team have significant experience in the US energy and infrastructure markets and have built data centers across 200 megawatts of power throughout their careers. We also believe that a strong strategic ecosystem is important for success in this industry. Ours includes Lenovo, who's been a key supporter since the early days, as well as NVIDIA, and we spend significant time with both optimizing architectures for AI training and inference workloads. Our GPU as a service offering includes the latest NVIDIA hardware, such as the H100 and L40S, and we expect to offer the new H200 soon as well. As part of our business model, we participate in a number of partnerships, such as, of course, this one with New Era Helium, and also collaborations with software companies that require AI and high-performance compute. One example that was recently announced is a collaboration with Grass Valley, a leader in solutions for live media and sports, and Layer Cake to deliver software-defined video through the cloud. Other examples of collaborations include AI-focused companies as well as research and academia. In terms of our perspective on this JV, Sharon AI will be the exclusive AI high-performance compute provider, and we expect to design, build, and operate the data center at the project site. We expect to work with our ecosystem partners on the data center, GPU network architecture, and design, which is expected to include NVIDIA Cloud Partner NCP reference architecture to deliver optimal performance for AI and high-performance compute workloads. And we're really excited about working with New Era Helium on this project, and we'll just briefly highlight again the following. 1, the behind-the-meter nature of the data center with a power plant utilizing CO2 capture, the proprietary natural gas supply from our partner here, significant expansion potential expected over time, and a data center that's focused on AI high-performance compute use cases, accommodating high power density through liquid cooling. Most existing infrastructure in the US does not have these forward-looking features, and we're now focused on execution as well as sourcing customer offtake for the project. Maybe a little bit on market backdrop and the overall opportunity. I mean, look, we've seen all the hyperscalers rushing to add capacity and investment. For example, AWS added a 960 megawatt nuclear campus in Pennsylvania. There was an announcement of a partnership that included BlackRock and Microsoft planning to invest up to $100 billion in data centers and power infrastructure. And in Texas, for example, there were reports of Crusoe building a 200 megawatt data center that's already fully leased to Oracle, according to reports. On the earnings front, there's a strong backdrop. Amazon reported that AWS had 50% operating income growth year over year for their last quarter, with the generative AI business growing 100% in sales. And Microsoft reported that, quote, AI-related products are on track to contribute $10 billion to annual revenue, the fastest business in their history to reach this milestone. It's also interesting to note that they said that the growth is being generated by inference, not training, which in our opinion is a more sustainable growth and something the market has been waiting for. A third perspective, perhaps, is how the market views this specific or this overall opportunity, but specific to AI and high-performance compute infrastructure. And it's been reported in the press that private valuations for other large non-hyperscale players focused on this space have increased significantly over the last year or two. And we just think those are interesting data points, since the public hyperscalers, of course, also have very large non-AI, non-data center businesses as well. And I'd say lastly, in terms of backdrop and opportunity, we agree with Jensen that GPUs are not only for AI, but as all types of workloads are growing larger, GPUs are an efficient way to accelerate compute, especially as improvements in CPUs are slowing. And we would add to that currently there's just not enough infrastructure to support this trend. All right, back to you, Will.
Yeah, well, that was a wonderful overview, and thank you for that. And just to kind of wrap things up again, from the Permian Basin perspective, when you look at the natural gas, look at it as a source of power, source of energy. One thing that we're doing internally is looking at our third-party reserve reports and understanding the amount of BCF of proved and probable helium reserve, natural gas reserves And we're actually equating that to gigawatts now, to electrons and not molecules, to better understand that the Permian Basin, one of the largest energy fields in the world, is nothing but a large power source. And so utilizing this this low cost fuel is going to be able to provide us, low cost energy. So hopefully to attract, long-term customers, again, as you mentioned, with CO2 capture, so to facilitate the anthropogenic CO2 need within the Permian. So with that being said, these are some of the rationales, some of the reasons why Sharon AI and New Era Helium have formed this strategic partnership, and look forward to providing a lot more information in the forthcoming weeks and months, because this is it's really getting underway. We've had quite a bit of positive feedback, and so I greatly appreciate all those that are supporting us, wishing us well, and look forward to launching this in the very near future. Jonathan, thank you very much for hosting this. And any closing remarks from your side?
Yeah, just I'd say that a recording again will be available on both companies' websites. So New Era Helium as well as Sharon AI. And thank you for listening to the two CEO speakers this afternoon. And we will make sure to keep everyone updated as things progress. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.